Have you ever felt exhausted by trying to make everything go your way? Like no matter how much effort you put in, life keeps throwing curveballs? What if I told you that the secret isn't in controlling more, it's in letting go? Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. What's one thing you've been trying to control that never seems to go your way? Chapter 1. The illusion of control. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." In our attempts to control life, our relationships, careers, even our emotions, we create inner resistance. And that resistance becomes suffering. Control is often just a defense mechanism against the unknown, but life itself is the unknown. And trying to control it is like trying to command the wind. Surrendering to the universe rather than fighting it can help you tap into your highest reality. When we obsessively try to control our external circumstances, our partner's emotions, our boss's decisions, our children's paths, we unconsciously project our own internal fears onto the world. Carl Jung taught that what we do not make conscious appears in our life as fate. We might think we're keeping everything in check, but really we're being controlled by the very forces we're trying to manage. Take, for example, the person who tries to control their partner's behavior out of fear of abandonment. This fear likely stems from an unresolved childhood wound, likely to assume it is an emotional absence from a parent or early rejection. Carl Jung believed that unless we integrate these unconscious wounds, we repeat them. So how do we heal from this illusion of control? The first and simplest step is by becoming aware of our emotional and thought patterns. Notice where you feel anxious when things don't go your way. That anxiety is a messenger pointing to a deeper truth within you. Next, we practice radical acceptance. This doesn't mean you become passive and cold to all emotions. It means you acknowledge and surrender to the present moment. Let go. Don't try to control or change it. Respond instead with clarity and peace of mind. Some tools to help you practice radical acceptance during the day are mindfulness meditation, breath work, and journaling. All are powerful tools to slow down the sympathetic nervous system and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, helping to calm the mind and better observe your thoughts and reactions. And now we can start to increase the inner work through active imagination. A Jungian method where you dialogue with the unconscious can help you uncover what parts of your psyche are gripping so tightly to control. Often you'll find a frightened inner child who simply needs reassurance, not domination. When you stop needing to control the world, you begin to trust the self. Chapter 2. Facing our shadow within. Carl Jung's idea of the shadow is the part of us that we push away, the anger, the fear, the chaos we pretend doesn't exist. Ironically, these are often the very things we try to control in others and in ourselves. Think of the perfectionist boss who demands total order and efficiency, not because they value excellence, but because they're terrified of being seen as inadequate. Or the parent who shames their child's emotions, not realizing they've never come to terms with their own vulnerability. The shadow doesn't disappear just because we ignore it. It waits, it builds, and eventually it finds a way to surface. Through anxiety, frustration, burnout, or the need to micromanage every detail of our lives, the shadow often forms early in life as a result of our attempts to fit into family, school, or society. We're taught what's acceptable, and we suppress the rest. But what we suppress doesn't vanish. It gathers energy and grows. Jung described the shadow as 90% pure gold. In that remaining 10% might be a soldier who uses aggressive emotions to protect their boundaries. Inside your fear may be a deep well of intuition, but until we're willing to come face to face with our shadow, those gifts will remain locked deep in your subconscious. To truly let go, we must be willing to meet our shadow with compassion. Ask yourself, What am I trying to control that's actually a mirror of my inner fear? What emotions do I suppress in myself but criticize in others? What parts of myself do I feel ashamed of and want to hide? As Jung taught, the path to wholeness is through integration, not avoidance. When we face our shadow, we reclaim the energy we used to waste on control. Healing begins when you start to observe yourself. Sit with yourself, away from any distractions, and go inwards. Ask yourself about the times you overreacted or tried to dominate a situation. What deeper emotion were you avoiding? Were you trying to prove something, protect something, or hide something? If this resonates with you, pause for a moment, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. Help us make more content for you and grow our channel. Comment below. What part of your shadow are you just now beginning to understand? We read all of your comments. A powerful practice to learn about our shadow can be dream work. In dream work, we train our mind to improve dream recall, and we keep a dream journal. This leads into dream analysis, a technique Carl Jung frequently utilized. Dream analysis allows us to learn about ourselves through interpreting the dream characters and the setting of the dream. Meeting your shadow in dreams can be the first step toward healing it in waking life. As Jung taught, the path to wholeness is through integration, not avoidance. When we face our shadow, we reclaim the energy we used to waste on control. And when we integrate our shadow, we find that we no longer need to micromanage life. We can meet each moment with authenticity and depth. Chapter 3. Synchronicity, the language of the universe. One of Jung's most profound contributions was the idea of synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences that guide us if we're willing to listen. Jung defines synchronicity as events that are meaningful coincidences if they occur with no causal relationship, yet seem to be meaningfully related. It challenges the notion that only the physical, observable world contains truth. It invites us to consider that the psyche and the universe are mysteriously interconnected. When we stop obsessing over controlling outcomes, we start to notice strange alignments, such as a book falls off the shelf with the exact message you needed. A stranger says something that answers the question in your heart. You take a wrong turn but end up in the right place. You're thinking about an old friend you haven't seen in years and they suddenly call you. These don't just happen by chance. They are signals from the unconscious, guiding your individuation, your personal growth. Jung believed that synchronicities occur when we are in alignment with our deeper self. They often show up at crucial turning points in life, during periods of grief, transformation, or healing. Instead of seeking control, Jung suggested we should observe and reflect on these patterns to understand the messages from our unconscious. To begin working with synchronicity, Jung suggests keeping a synchronicity journal. Whenever something strange yet meaningful happens, write it down. Reflect on your emotional state, your thoughts, and what you might need to learn from it. Pay attention to your dreams too. Jung believed that dreams speak the same symbolic language as synchronicities. They are both ways the self communicates with the conscious mind. Control narrows our awareness, surrender expands it. When you relax into the present, you become attuned to the flow of the universe. Synchronicity isn't a trick, it's a conversation, but we must quiet our minds to hear it. Healing happens when we allow the unconscious to speak and be aware of synchronicities and coincidences, when we trust that we are not isolated beings in a chaotic world, but rather participants in a greater transformational journey. Healing accelerates. So if you've been feeling stuck or uncertain, let go of trying to force a way forward. Instead, tune in. The signs are already around you. All you have to do is notice them. Chapter 4. The Wisdom of Non-Attachment. In Jungian and Eastern philosophy alike, the practice of non-attachment isn't about giving up. It's about releasing the illusion that we can bend life to our will. Think about it. You can apply for a job, but you can't force someone to hire you. You can love someone deeply, but you can't control whether they love you back. Non-attachment means you commit fully, but let go of how things must unfold. Jung believed in the power of the self, the deep and intuitive center that knows what your conscious mind does not. When you stop trying to steer from ego, you allow the self to take the wheel. And that's when your path becomes clear, not because you forced it, but because you trusted it. It is the conscious decision to show up wholeheartedly while surrendering the outcome. This practice frees us from the emotional roller coaster of expectations. We begin to act from a place of purpose, not from fear of what might go wrong. True peace comes not from achieving everything we want, but from no longer needing to. Non-attachment doesn't make us indifferent, it makes us wise. We love more deeply when we don't try to possess. We live more fully when we're not clinging to a specific future. A practice from Jungian psychology you can try right now is this. The next time you're feeling anxious about an outcome, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, can I let go of needing this to go a certain way? Practice this regularly, and you'll find a powerful shift. You'll go from needing and chasing to allowing and knowing. Chapter 5. Surrendering to it is strength. Letting go is not weakness, it's the greatest form of strength. To trust the universe is to say, I may not understand the storm, but I trust the wind knows where it is taking me. Carl Jung's individuation process, the journey of becoming your most authentic self, requires surrender. Because only through surrender do we find the courage to live in alignment with our soul. Let go of the need to figure it all out. Let go of the timelines, the deadlines, the self-doubt. Let go of who you thought you needed to be. When you do, you won't fall apart. You'll fall into place. If this message touched your heart, help it reach others. Like the video, subscribe for more soul-healing reflections, and comment below. Always remember, you are not lost. You are being guided, and sometimes the only thing standing between you and your higher path is the need to control it.